Today's postcard is from a Monmouthshire castle that has spanned the years of history. We're in Raglan. Raglan is a small village complete with large ruined castle in the middle of Monmouthshire, about 7 miles southwest of Monmouth town and the same distance east of Abergavenny. It's at the confluence where two A roads meet, the A40 and the A449. Now I have a confession to make. I lived in a small village called Llantilio-Cresceni, which is down the road about 6-7 miles. I lived here for 5-6 years and I never came to Raglan Castle on my doorstep. Now isn't that just what everybody says? They have wonderful sights, they have wonderful glories on their doorstep, and they never see them because you think, Cindy, they're always there and I can always pop in.
That's it.
And now I've moved away, I've popped in.
Oh, well done. Yes, that's what happens.
Tell me about Raglan, because the village of Raglan is quite tiny.
Yes.
And yet there's this huge castle behind us.
Enormous castle, a very beautiful castle. It was built about 1430, 32 by a very up-and-coming Welshman who was clever enough to marry two wealthy widows. He married the heiress to this estate, one Elizabeth Berkeley. She'd been Elizabeth Blowey or Blewett, and when her first husband died, she, for some extraordinary reason, picked this Welshman to marry, and so brought him her inheritance. And when she died, he married another one. He married Gladys Gam, and both William ap Thomas and Gladys's first husband and her father had fought at Agincourt with Henry V. So they were getting their toe in with royalty and whatnot, and he was gathering money, and he was given...
Getting connected.
Yes, connected, and getting a lot of high appointments.
And Henry V was born just up the road in Monmouth, wasn't he?
Henry V was born just up the road in Monmouth. So William was the type of chap who these days would probably have made his first million by the time he was 18 or something like that.
Sort of Richard Branson of his age.
Yes, that's right.
I don't think I've ever seen gargoyles in a castle. I've seen them on cathedrals and churches, but you've got some up there.
We've got some up there, some very good examples. Didn't have TV and things in those days. You made your own amusements. So quite often the masons would do the gargoyles as sort of caricatures of each other. So a lot of these have got human type faces, some quite sort of amusing and funny. And we've got some good examples that, sort of still left here. In fact, this piece, this great gatehouse now, was built by William ap Thomas's son. The Welsh didn't have surnames when this castle was built. So he was William, son of Thomas. His son was called William the Black. He either had very dark hair or dark complexion or something, but was asked to take a surname in the English fashion by Edward IV and became known as William Herbert. This is the kitchen. Two huge fireplaces.
Yes, on either side.
On either side, and two little bread ovens, one there and one there. You've got yourself a nice big fire inside, and then you cooked your food, and as the heat decreased, you put in things that didn't need such, a high heat in there. So those were your bread ovens.
That little tiny bread oven there.
Very
and still got the scorch marks there.
Very strange place to have a gun porthole.
Is that what that is?
That's a gun porthole. So you'd have to take all your cooking out, lie on your stomach to shoot through. But from the outside it looked good. Because nobody knew it was the kitchen this side.
No.
So very clever.
It's all about impressions. Now, up there is a wonderful fireplace.
Yes, one of the highly decorated ones that are still left. There are many, many fireplaces throughout the castle. I mean, of the ones that are left, I've counted 51.
Really?
Yes, think of all the work.
I know.
Oh my God. Cutting up all this wood and stuff and carting it. I mean, quite extraordinary. But this room here is the buttery, the room of the little butts, the big butts. I mean, even children had watered down beer. So the water supply could be a bit dodgy, dear. And it's a word we still use, butler and things.
Yes,
so
that's
butler
right.
in charge here.
Yes.
They're through there, the screens passage, and then the serving hatch, and then the food would be taken into the Great Hall.
So there's the serving hatch from the
That's the
buttery
serving hatch.
into the Great Hall,
Yes.
where we can see the coat of arms.
Yes, that's
On the wall over
the
there.
coat of arms is the 3rd Earl of Worcester, which was the family title at in Elizabethan times and so on.
So this is an Elizabethan
Yes,
Earl by now.
He was made a Knight of the Garter, and that's his coat of arms at that time.
Huge fireplace.
Huge fireplace with what's called a bifurcating flue that goes up either side of this window. So this would have been a really warm and remarkable room, lots probably of tapestries and things, a gallery because there are musicians playing, and then the table set out, and the family up here with their important guests, until later on, when people wanted a bit more privacy and things, they built a parlour and dining room the other side of that wall. This was the library. And that is called either the Closet Tower or the Library
That
Tower.
tower over there.
That one there. This must have been the weakest part of the castle, this piece here. And in the 17th century, when the castle was under the 3-month siege, and you had the parliamentarian troops over there coming closer and closer with their cannon, this is the wall they managed to breach. And this is where a musket shot is supposedly shot through this window and almost hit the poor old Marquis on the head. He said his head was musket-proof. And one of the saddest things is that a member of the family, who was also called Herbert, who was on the parliamentarian side, was the one who was responsible for burning the wonderful books and things from this library. As far as anybody knows, every single book was burnt. They were very frightened of the written word in those days.
A bit like the Nazis when they burnt the book. It
That's
seems
right,
strange that people go
yes.
for literature
Yes,
and
that's
learning,
right. Yes,
isn't
they do,
it?
yeah.
And so he actually did that to his own family.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
put in charge of burning the library, which is really, really sad. I mean, we have romantic thoughts about maybe underneath somewhere there's a tunnel or a passage and there are some books saved, because it seems extraordinary that the Marquis saved the family pictures, which went to Troy House in Monmouth and are now at Badminton, but didn't save any of his very treasured books.